Now I'm joined today by Joel and Dusty from Respawn. Guys, Titanfall 2, it's the big game you guys are working on. Excited? You're at TGS, you should be excited.
Yeah, we're super excited. I come to Tokyo quite a bit, so it's great to visit here. But my first time coming to TGS, this is remarkable. This feels like everything why we make our games for consumers. It's passionate. Everybody's electric here. Loving this show.
Yeah, it's home of the giant robot, which there are a lot of robots in Titanfall. So
Nice, I like it.
yeah,
Marketing on point.
We have 1 foot firmly planted in the Japanese anime and manga, and we're heavily inspired by that. But it's just amazing to come here where people really appreciate giant robots the most, and watch them react to what we're showing is really amazing.
And I guess that is probably one thing, because shooters historically don't do that well in Japan, but Titanfall has always done considerably well, especially considering it was Xbox exclusive, which it now isn't. Is you guys really excited to be able to bring it to PS4 and to bring it to these guys who are a big PS4 country?
Oh yeah, look, super excited to finally be bringing our craft to this region here. Excited to be on the PlayStation platform finally. There's millions of users that didn't get to experience Titanfall yet. I think the benefit for them waiting is that we've got a really well-crafted game this time. You don't have to have played the first game. You don't have to know anything about the first game or the universe. And we've got a great single-player campaign to get you ramped up into it, which is fun. I should note that actually Titanfall 1 was at TGS many years ago, and it won a future game of the show award.
And that was in the big year of games too. I was here for that.
So that was really exciting, and that really taught us that, hey, we're onto something here. Let's continue to advance and get inspired more by kanji and all the other conjunctions here of the market.
Mm-hmm. I think one thing that came out of our tech test that we did was we were caught off guard by how many Japanese players were hopping on, and we actually had to start up more servers to compensate and accommodate the player base that showed up, which was, after we came back with that, we're thinking to ourselves, well, we're doing something right. It's getting into the right hands in Japan, and it's fantastic because we looked at going on to the PS4 as we're presenting to an entirely brand new community of gamers.
So I guess that is a big thing, because you are introducing this whole new. Whereas Xbox, it had a lot of time to. You've had Titanfall, you've played it. It's been out for a couple of years. This is a chance to do something new. Like, what are you guys most proud of that's new to Titanfall 2?
Finally, we get to do single player. Finally, we're on the PlayStation 4. Making Titanfall 2 and almost treating it like the first in a series because of. We wanted to make sure that since we are reaching out to an entirely new community, we wanted to make sure that it was something they could easily jump into, but also fans of the original could hop into as well. There's something for everybody there.
Yusuf?
Yeah, look, the single player really stands out. It's an action-adventure story that unfolds in front of you. It's long, it's memorable, it's meaty. I'm playing through it right now myself, for the first time. It reminds me more of actually Half-Life 1. This is an experience that, as a gamer, people haven't seen for maybe 15 years in gaming. Each level is bespoke in different types of gameplay from the next, from pilot combat to pilot and Titan combat together to then you're exploring, you're solving puzzles. It's really a unique experience. So that's the single player. And then, of course, multiplayer, we've really honed our craft. Titanfall 1 we always said it was a little chaotic. It was cranked to 11 and then someone threw away that knob so you couldn't adjust it. So this Titanfall 2 now multiplayer is really balanced and handcrafted. It's memorable, it's repeatable, and it's learnable so that anyone can jump in.
Because that was probably one of the things, is getting used to the motion is perhaps the hardest part of Titanfall 1. It was great, it was fantastic, jumping from wall to wall to wall. It made sense in the.
And that's what's so unique about Titanfall, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It takes a while to get used to. Though.
Yeah, but you have to hone that kind of craft. So is that something that you guys had coming into it? Was it making it accessible but still obviously maintaining that complexity, especially, as you say, across classes?
Absolutely. A minute to learn, lifetime to master. That was the goal for Titanfall 2, and I think we've achieved that. Players like myself, who I grew up with Doom, Quake, Wolfenstein, of course, working on making the Call of Duties, Soldier of Fortune, etc. I consider myself a really good first-person shooter player, but it's taken me a while to get used to the motion model and the verticality of Titanfall. Titanfall 2 takes that away. It's a level playing field where I can actually learn and perfect my craft.
I think it's also worth noting that in order to balance the game and have with the Titans and with the pilots and with the weapons, we heard the outcry from the community for Titanfall 1. They wanted more of everything. They wanted it to be better. And so what we really did was go into Titanfall 2's multiplayer and start calibrating things and giving them visually, they would stand apart from each other, but also mechanically, so that the visuals informed you on what you're about to encounter, whatever. But their speed was calibrated, and it was all taken into consideration of how the motion models work together and what pilot has what motion model. But specifically, I think that even with Titanfall 1 being so insanely fast in some circumstances, that actually completely still exists in Titanfall 2. It's just a matter of how you string your character together. So there's the opportunity to maintain that frenetic. I'm using, I don't know. Frenetic is the better word, but those things exist in Titanfall 2, but it's much more balanced. I think I hate saying it, but I can only play Titanfall 1 for about an hour. I've become during the tech test and when we were internally testing, I've sat down for 4 hours one time just because I'm so into leveling up all my stuff. It's a brand new progression system and how you level up your stuff.
I guess the big question is what loadout do you rock? What's your personal favorite loadouts?
Right now, one of my favorites is I like the
talk about.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
I think
Damn, they're on me.
I've heard quick responses on tech tests where they're like, "Why would you ever use the cloak pilot?" And cloak pilot is my favorite because a lot of people like to use the sonar dart, and they'll throw in on they'll sonar an area and blanket it. And they're expecting to walk into a free zone where there's no one there, and I'm hiding there with my cloak, and I am just sneaking up and ambushing 4 people at a time.
Camping's legitimate strategy.
Beautiful. That's right. But that's what I mean. So much work has gone into building counters to all these things. There's a weapon that has a counter to it. There's always a reason tactically to use it. You've got new Titans. There are tactical elements. Why one Titan is better in one environment than the other.
Yeah, no, it's and yourself?
Well, from a loadout perspective, I love grapple. Right, it's the number one item that was used in the tech test. I think people love the grapple. I think we've perfected it. It's a little bit part science, part art, part Spider-Man in there, and how you weave through and catch momentum. I think it's exciting. From a gameplay mechanic, I love this new concept of batteries. So that the Titans have batteries, and as a pilot, you can go up and you can steal the battery. You can actually go and give it to your Titan. You can give it to a friendly Titan, and that Titan will obviously get a boost from the battery.
Nice.
But I, as a pilot, will also speed up my meter for calling in Titans if I don't have one, or an extra boost. But it creates this new dynamic of gameplay amongst the players in the game that's really rewarding.
No, it sounds great. And one last question: is there still the mad scramble for the ship at the end? Because let's be real, that was. I remember the first time I played it in the beta. I'm like, oh man, everyone's gonna take this now because this is just so great. Running to the thing and like, oh god, there's robots after me. What do I do?
So I've seen some really killer moments where the ship is starting to take off and someone's grappled onto it and they're being slung into it. And the dropships do this cool new thing that kind of plays into the Titans, the Ronin Titan. And there's a phase shift pilot that kind of shares the same mechanic, but there's a phase shift when you get near the dropship. You phase shift into it, so you almost kind of cross a parallel dimension a few feet, and you pop in there. It's really nice. So you can have these really intense moments where people are scrambling for the dropship, but doing like insanely impossible moves to actually get in there.
Well, guys, thank you very much for your time. It's looking really good, and big response here at TGS. And thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thanks for your time, guys. Bye, everybody at home.